Hey, everybody out there, welcome back to 91.8 The Fan. It is I, your favorite holiday themed host, the DJ Christmas, and I have with me a super special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself to all the fans out there?
Yes, hello, hi. I am Danielle Judovits. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's so great to have you. And now, obviously, you've been doing a certain role for quite some time as we were talking behind the scenes. But before we get too much into that, let's ask, how did you get started in acting? That's always the big thing. It's like, where did it all begin?
Sure. Yeah, I do. I get that question a lot. Honestly, I am one of those people, I'm sure you hear this all the time, like came out of the womb singing, acting, basically. From the moment I could talk, I was like, I want to be an actress. My mom said I used to point at the television set when I was a baby and say, oh, I want to be in there, I want to be in there. So when I was about 5 years old, I started going to see a lot of musical theater and really got into musicals and said, I want to do theater. And so that's kind of how I got into it. Started doing local theater productions, and I got really lucky, and an agent saw me in the audience and asked me if I, thought about doing this for real. And my parents at first were really opposed to it. My dad especially said, no, absolutely not. She needs to stay in school. She needs to be a regular kid. But with a little prodding and convincing, I was able to convince my dad and mom, and it just kind of went from there. And I just started working, doing on-camera stuff first. And then I didn't get into voiceover stuff until a few years later. I think I was about eight or nine when I started doing VO stuff. So it's kind of how I got into it.
That's still really pretty early for voiceover stuff. You don't get too
It's
many
very
younger
early.
kids.
Yes. Today there's a few more, but there aren't a lot of kids that do VO, and that's also another reason why you will see a lot of adults doing kids VO. Now, even though I'm an adult now, I am definitely a fan of when people hire real kids to do real kid voices. I'm probably going to be shot for saying this on air, but and lose jobs or whatever. But I don't know. Like, there's a certain innocence that a real kid has when they're doing something, as opposed to us adults trying to be a kid. And
Yeah,
while I will gladly do it, I prefer when people use real kids. I think it sounds better personally, but
obviously
yeah,
you
I was
have
still I was
that.
young.
Obviously, you have that sort of roadblock where sometimes it's harder for kids to take direction. But isn't that what Hey Arnold was? That was just a bunch of kid actors.
Y- Yeah, hey Arnold, and it's funny. One of my best friends, still to this day, was the voice of Arnold. Actually, there were three Arnolds they went through because we were kids, and the boys' voices kept changing. So yeah, we were a bunch
Right.
of kids. Um, oh gosh, those were fun days. Hey Arnold, man. I still get a lot of fan mail actually from Hey Arnold people, and I've actually gone back now as an adult and watched that show, and it's super sweet. I love it. I think that was a great show.
Yeah, it holds up really well. Like
It does.
I can't watch some of the cartoons on these days, but like the stuff
Right?
from my childhood, the classic stuff, it
The
still applies
classic.
really well today.
It really does. It does, absolutely. And now I have a niece who's old enough to sort of start watching that stuff, and I'll watch it with her, and she digs it, which makes me happy. So yeah, it definitely holds up today.
Definitely. And now, since then, you've started working on, anime stuff. Obviously, it's easier for kids to get into cartoons, and you don't see too many in anime. How did you land the role of Tenten?
Actually, that's a really funny story because I didn't know anything about anime, had never even heard about anime. I was pretty young when I auditioned for Tenten. It was almost 10 years ago now. And the person that was casting the show, I had worked for on another job, and they called and said, I want you to come in. We have this audition. And I don't even remember the specifics because it was so long ago, but I ended up having to do my audition over the phone.
Oh,
So
wow.
I literally had this like 3 minute audition over the phone. Wasn't even explained to like, oh, this is going to be like a regular gig, or, this is really what the show's about. They just had me do, I want to say like 5 or 6 lines over the phone, maybe twice, and that was it. And they said thanks, and then called me back, a couple of days later and said, "Yeah, you got it. Come on in." And then when I got there and I realized, oh, this is a show and this is a lot. Cool. But I literally, it was just like a quick 15-minute phone call. I had no idea. And it's very rare that I audition for stuff over the phone. It was just a fluke thing, and it worked out. So yeah.
And now, Tenten is one of those characters where you don't see her all the time, but at least she's not dead.
Right. Yeah, she sort of comes in and out. I love Tenten. I think she's actually one of my favorite characters to voice because she's a cool chick. I like her
Yes,
a lot.
she's
So.
a lot of fun. It's funny. We've talked to Keith Silverstein, who voices Kimimaro, and he's like, "Yeah,
Mhm.
Kimimaro. He's a fun guy. Shows up for 5, 6 episodes, dies. Then he's gone."
It's true. A lot of people die in anime. Period. I'm kind of lucky in that, most of the stuff I've done, I've only had to voice over dying a couple of times in my life. That's never fun, having to act like you're dying. Okay, can you do that, again with a little more emotion? Die again, die again. So
Well,
yeah, Tenten is still alive. It's
yeah,
good.
the things that you do end up dying a lot in is that Naruto being one of the big long running shonen series is Tenten's in every single game.
She is. Love that. Yeah, she is in every single game. I like the games are actually a lot harder work-wise than the show because there's a lot more stuff you have to do in one session than when you're recording shows, for sure.
Definitely, and the newest one just came out, the Ultimate Ninja Storm 3, and that's they just keep adding more people to it.
Do they? I'm terrible. I have yet to play any of those games because I'm so bad at games. I would just probably die in 2 seconds. But,
Yeah, my brother actually just picked it up. He plays more of the Naruto games than I do, and I'm just looking through and it's like they've got everyone, no one out.
yeah, it's funny. I love it.
A little tougher because you have
Hello?
to go through all the reaction noises and the different ways to die. Do you prefer that, or do you like just going in and doing cold line readings?
It's an interesting question. The actor in me would say I like going in and reading, the doing cold readings, doing the lines and stuff. But it's a lot easier and quicker when we're doing the game stuff, and it's just, give me 3 grunts, give me 3 screams, give me 3 pushes, and you can get through that stuff super quick. So I would say there's something fun about each, but when it comes down to it, I definitely do prefer when I can act a little bit more. So I have actual lines to say. I would say I would probably prefer that.
Yeah, and then obviously, you burn out your voice through, just the quick sessions of
Yeah,
reactions and
yeah,
dying.
for sure. You got to be
Yeah,
careful. As a voiceover actor, you just have to preserve your voice. I'm sure people talk to you about this all the time, and I have in the past definitely lost friends because they get mad at me if, one of them is even slightly sick, and I just freak. I'm like, don't get near me, don't get near me. And they just think I'm this, hoity-toity, too good. But the truth of the matter is our voice is everything, and we can't really get sick. I mean, obviously it happens to everybody, but you have to be so careful with how you take care of your voice for sure. And on top of that, I am also a singer, so it's like double. I have to take care of. It's my instrument. It's everything. So yeah, it's definitely wear and tear and all that screaming. But once you've done it for a while, I think you kind of learn your voice and you understand sort of where to place it. It's a little bit easier, and you don't strain your voice as much as I probably used to when I was starting out so long ago as a child.
yeah, definitely. And I think
Yeah.
with that, we're going to take a short musical break, but don't go anywhere because we'll still have our special guest when we come back. So keep it tuned to 91.8 The Fan. Everything you want and nothing you don't. Hey everybody, sorry about that technical hiccup. Sometimes the internet just doesn't want to work, but I am back and I have my special guest. It wasn't the special guest this time, it was just me.
Whoops.
Well, sometimes we've had times where we'll come back from break and we'll say, I'm here and my special guest is,
Oh, and they're just gone?
and they're just gone and we have to go back to a
Womp
break.
womp.
So,
Oh, well, I am here. Hello.
yeah, sorry to everyone who was listening to that extended musical break, but we are back and we're here to talk about Danielle, not about Christmas's internet problems.
It's all good. We can talk about that too.
Maybe later. But as we said before the extended break, the latest Naruto game has just come out, the Clash of Ninja Revolution 3. Is there
Yes.
anything else that's new and cool that you want to promote to the fans out there?
Gosh, I did work on a really cool game last week, but I can't talk about it because I
Well, yeah,
signed
that
one of
that
those.
was last week. We won't be able to talk about that for another 8 months.
Right, exactly. So maybe we can call. You can call. In the future, we could talk about it. As far as cool stuff I have going on right now, I mean, a lot of people also know me as I know it's still playing as Batgirl on the Batman series. That's still playing on. I think it's on Cartoon Network these days. And I did Kitty Pryde on Wolverine and the X-Men. And I'm just doing a bunch of course, most stuff I can't really talk about. How lame is that? So you guys will just have to call me back.
Well, that just gives us a chance to do another interview. But
There you go.
I know one of the things that I've been playing like crazy is the new Fire Emblem Awakening, which is tons of fun. And Sumiya is one of my favorite characters to just go around and completely wipe out the entire map with.
Nice. See, I need to get into gaming because everyone that I talk to is like has so much fun. My boyfriend's always next to me playing games while I'm trying to fall asleep, and I just hear all this crash and stuff, and it sounds really fun. But every time I've tried, I'm so bad at it that I just get discouraged. So maybe I need to try harder and start playing because it sounds so fun.
Yeah, and then another thing here that Wikipedia tells me is that you were in the big craze last Christmas, the Skylanders.
Yes, that was a while ago. Yes, that is true.
Well,
Again,
it wasn't this
go ahead,
past
sorry.
Christmas. It was the year before. I worked at Target during Black Friday, so that was loads of fun. But everybody
Oh
was
boy.
everybody was super into it because that's when it was coming out, and it's like, oh yeah, this thing. You get the toys, and it's the greatest marketing scheme I've ever seen.
Nice. I love that. A funny Target story that I will never forget. I don't remember who I was with. I was with a friend, and we were walking through Target. And you know how they have, like, in the kids section, those games and that you can, like, a lot of the things you can push, and then the character will,
With the
like,
little
talk
demo
to
stuff,
you
yeah.
with the little demo games. So we were just walking through, and we just, like, started pushing them, and all of a sudden we push one, and my friend's like, that sounds like you. And I come over, we push it. Sure enough, it was me, and I had totally forgotten that I had done that. I would say that was probably one of the most fun moments of anything. It was for this cute little Polly Pocket toy thing that I had done, and I totally forgot, and we pressed it, and we just kept playing, and probably the Target employees just thought we were so weird, these two grown adults just playing with the Polly Pocket toys.
Well, I haven't had a
Uh,
chance to pick up the Skylanders game myself, but when,
mhm.
when all the kids were coming in, hitting the demos, Stealth Elf definitely looks like one of the more fun ones to play. It's just close up combat, beat 'em up, and loads
Nice.
of fun.
Another one. I'll have to call you back when I get into this gaming thing. I gotta try, man. All right. New Year's resolution in March, starting now.
Well, the good thing about the Skylanders is if you got into it last year when it all came out, they've just keep putting out the expansions with new characters, but all the old ones still work just fine.
Right. Love that. Love that. Just like all our, iPhone updates. They work for a while and then you gotta buy the new one. For a couple of months they get you. Uh,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, now I think the big one is the Giants. You get the giant ones, and they do all this stuff. Whatever.
Nice. Nice.
But like we said, you've got all kinds of things that you're working on now that you're not allowed to talk about. Is there any place where fans can keep up to date with you when you can talk about them?
Yeah, for sure. I love it. I love talking to fans. Mostly you can just catch me on my Twitter, which is just my name, D Judovits, or at D Judovits, and I will try to start tweeting more. But I'm pretty good about if anybody writes me, I will definitely respond, and I love it. It makes my day when people tweet me. So tweet me, and I will tweet you back for sure.
Yay!
So yay! Let's have a Twitter party for sure. So yeah, Twitter mostly is where I try to keep up to date with what's going on, and I will be better about that for sure.
Very cool. I know that there are certain voice actors out there who tweet more than others, and some people are still getting into it. Like, if you watch Kylie Bear's Twitter, he's going nonstop.
Yeah, see, I gotta be better. All right, I got another New Year's resolution in March. Tweet more in 2013. I gotta get on that tweet train. Do you
And then
tweet
there's
a
the
lot?
people
I don't even know how to say it. Tweet? That's right.
tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's
Tweet. Yeah.
tweets.
All
Me,
right.
I tweet quite a bit, here and there.
Yeah, I gotta do that more for sure.
And then there are some people who are still getting into it. Like I think Kate Higgins just got a Twitter like 2 weeks ago. She got pressured
Oh,
into it.
like just got one. Yeah, I've had it for a while. I used to use it a lot more just to take like stupid pictures of myself.
Well, that's one of
Like,
the that's like the best way to use Twitter is like check out this picture.
yeah, but you know what? Then you go back a few years later and you look at the pictures and you're like, I'm such an idiot. What was I thinking? Like, who wants to see a picture of my eyeshadow? Like, not me. So,
I had that
if
moment
for
when
nothing else, yeah, I know you know all about eyeshadow, I'm sure. But if for
well, no,
nothing else, it's a
yeah.
good laugh.
When I started using Twitter, like I'm sure if I went back and checked like my very first like 50 or so tweets, it was just me getting I was like, um, I'm gonna go eat lunch, I guess.
Right. What do you say? The whole idea of Twitter, it's slightly self indulgent, but you know what? I love it at the end of the day. It's fun if you
Which
don't
is
take it
good
too
because
seriously.
now I'm definitely more of a self-indulgent person, so Twitter's perfect for me.
There you go. No, it's cool too because, I think Twitter was the first thing that really was able to connect fans with, these big, huge celebrities. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I've tweeted at, Kim Kardashian a few times, whatever. And sometimes people respond back and it's like the coolest thing ever. So
Yeah,
kudos
I
to
used I
Twitter for
used to
that.
use Facebook for that before all the voice actors got like swarmed with fans, and Facebook only lets you have so many friends on your Facebook,
Right,
and they just all
right.
kind of moved over to Twitter, so I just do that now.
Exactly. Yeah. I used to have a Facebook exactly same thing, but it's so much easier on Twitter and it's so much more accessible and quick and easy and for sure. Absolutely.
And now, before we let you go, since we're nearing the end of our time together, even though most of it was spent trying to fix computer problems, but
Oh no.
no, it's fun. We had fun. All the stuff we talked about was great. I love talking to people.
Yes. Yes.
But before we let you go, we would like to ask you to participate in our 91.8 The Fan tradition.
All right. What is this tradition?
The tradition is we just ask you to say a quick radio bump for us. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point.
Awesome. Cool. Let's do it.
All right, we just ask you to say, "Hello, my name is." You insert your name. I do this. You can say that you're a voice actor. You can say specific characters, whatever you want to put there. You have creative freedom. And you're
Awesome.
tuned into 91.8 The Fan.
And say that one more time?
And you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan.
All right. So I just say my name, what I do, and you're tuned into
91.8.
91.8 fan.
Yep.
All right. Easy
Whenever
enough.
you're
Should I
whenever
say
you're
it?
all set, we can go for a take one.
All right. Hey, everybody. This is Danielle Judovits. Some of you guys know me from Naruto as Tenten and Ayame and other characters. And you guys are tuned into 91.8 The Fan.
There you go. You got it in the first shot. It's almost like
Woo!
you're a professional or something.
Never.
I think there might be a future in this for you. I mean, I
Oh,
know I
really?
know I know a couple people, we'll go off air and I'll
Oh
have
my
my
gosh.
people call your people.
Have your people call my people. Yes.
But thank you for
Love
this
it.
interview. It was a lot of fun. You're
Thanks
super
so
super
much.
high energy. I love when everybody's, super happy and fun and everything. It's gotta be the nice weather out in LA today.
It is so sunny and nice. But you know what? I've been told I have a happy personality, so thank you. It's always nice to hear that. There's no way to be but happy, you know? Life's too short, so thank you. I
Exactly.
appreciate it.
But for anybody out there who missed any part of this interview, you've missed the interview. It's done. You look completely ridiculous. But it will be up on the website in the next couple days, so you can catch it then. So make sure to keep it tuned to 91.8 The Fan. Everything you want and nothing you don't.